All right, guys, I'm going to make this real quick. And I got to always tell this story, especially for my new subs and stuff on all my platforms and channels and stuff that I put this video on. I have to tell this. Um, when I met my wife, I was down in Mesa, Arizona. I was born in Nashville, Tennessee. My wife was born in, as far as we can tell, because she was adopted, Idaho, but she was raised in Walden, Colorado, way back in the mountains, folks. Rancher stuff. I mean, that's how she was raised. I was a hillbilly. She's a redneck. Now, we ran into each other, and I was with my first wife. Before I even married my first wife, she was with my children's father, but they were never married. They were just from the same town she grew up in. They moved to Arizona and was in Arizona. I moved from Indianapolis and Florida and Oklahoma and a couple others. And I ended up in Arizona at the same time she was. And I met her through my first wife. My first wife's brother rented a room from her and my children's father. Hey, we could have been on the Jerry Springer show. We could have been. I know. Uh, but this whole thing, my children's father was a very good friend of mine, and he died a few short years after he left my wife and his children. He didn't live long after that. He died, but he was a good friend of mine. He would have given me his shirt off his back. All right. That's how I met my wife. Now, my wife tells me, because by the time I got with my wife, that we're getting ready to go to our 34th wedding anniversary, consecutive. I know some of you think, well, I've been married 10 years. I was married to her 2 years at this time, divorced her, got remarried to her. Somebody else. Yeah, I know. No, I'm talking consecutive, 34. But she claims I only married her for a tax write-off. Tax write-off, folks. Can you believe she says that? A tax write-off. Now, here's why. Hillbilly. I was painting houses. Had a business in Arizona. And I had a tax lawyer that did handled all my, or not a lawyer, a tax person, accountant, I guess you would say, so to speak. A hillbilly with an accountant. I did, but it's true. It's true. Anyway, me and my wife that I have had for 34 years, the last day of the year, 34 years. I had told him, look, at the beginning of the year, I'm getting married, man. He goes, yeah, I kind of heard you talking about that and everything, and he's going, cool and everything. I said, so after that, you're going to have to change up everything on my taxes. And he's going, well, wait a minute. He goes, this is my accountant. He's a part of it. If anybody's blaming anybody, it was his fault. He tells me, why are you getting married on the first day of the year? And I said, look, I'm bad with birth dates, names, all that stuff. I'm bad. I can't remember none of them. My birthday, I got that one down. But anybody else's, they just don't lock into my head. So I told my wife, or my fiance, if we're going to get married, the only way I'm doing it, if we do it on the first day of the year. That way I never forget. my kind, good idea. If you know you, good idea. He said, but let me tell you something. He said, I know you've been living with her for how many years now? We had already been living together like 2 or 3 years. He goes, listen, if you marry her the last day of the year, you can write her and the 2 kids off on your taxes. I said, what? He goes, instead of getting married on the first day of the year, you'll remember that one for sure. He said, marry her on the last day of the year, and I can write off them for the whole year on your taxes. Hey, have you called my wife yet? And he goes, what do you mean? I said, have you called her and told her it's not the first day, it's the last day yet? Because as soon as I get home, that's the way it's going to be. I'm telling you what, folks. I went on, explained it to her. She went along with it and been telling everybody I only married her for a tax purpose 34 years ago. God loves you guys. I love you. Only one of my stories. And I only retell it because I got new subs. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Can you get any more hillbillier than that for what your wife tells people why we're married and stuff? Come on. Come on. Love you guys.